welcome to the channel. I am Say Hi Paul, and welcome to this game, this narrative game of Warhammer 40,000 9th edition. And today on the channel we return to the world of Archimedes IX, which is it's an industrial planet on the eastern fringes, where the eastern fringes meet Ultramar, just off the tip of the Cicatrix Maledictum. And it has a high value industrial output producing material for the war effort, which is why it has been beset by the raiders of the 53rd Talon Night Lords, who've come to this place to plunder. However, they hadn't counted on the noble Fulminators of the Adeptus Astartes Primaris Marines, who've turned up to ruin their day and kill them a bit / a lot. So before we get into the detail, because there's a lot of detail to get into, just a quick summary for a few things to note for people who are watching this and are new to the channel. I've lost my notes. Yes, all my games are narrative. They have a very narrative bent. Competitive play doesn't get a look in here, and as such, my channel has a number of house rules, which I'm now going to point the camera at. There is another video on my on the channel which explains why all these things are here and why I do it. The short version is it's for narrative reasons. Very quick summary of the relevant ones. I don't apply +or -1 limits on dice roll modifiers. I let characters charge with units. So if a unit and a character or characters are in coherency with each other and they all want to charge the same target or targets, I make one roll and they either succeed or fail collectively, and then I move them individually and everything else returns to normal. I don't use command point rerolls. I don't limit the number of times a stratagem can be used in a given phase, and I never ever use reinforcement points. But the most important rule I have is I always apply what I call narrative common sense. So as I'm playing the game, if something is narratively jarring to me, I'll change it as I go along. There are some others, but they probably won't come into effect today. Other things to just mention. These videos have low production values, as you're probably already noticing with the shaky camera angles, and I tend to ramble on quite a bit. And all my games are played by me against me. It's all me. I play both sides. So all that told, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, you probably aren't going to like the rest of the video. Right, still here? Splendid. So, oh gosh, what to go through. So it's been a while since we've done one of these on the channel. Right, spoiler alert, this is the 5th video in a series. If you haven't seen the other 4 and you're interested in doing so, it's maybe a good time to stop watching this, go back and find those and watch those. Right, disclaimer discharged. So in the previous 3 so at the start of the, it's not a campaign, of the series, the Night Lords were raiding and they were driven off by the Fulminators. The follow-on from which was the Night Lords scattering into the various parts of the city to use the populace as human shields and to strike out at the Fulminators. So I played a series of 3 combat patrol games to determine how well that strategy played out. The results were mixed. They weren't totally one-sided. So the next scenario, as a result of those, I have decided, is whilst those skirmishes were going on, the Talon Master of the Night Lords, who's I absolutely don't have to look at his name on a bit of paper. That's because I haven't painted him yet and I haven't used him yet. That's the problem. Talon Master Narivok has started landing his heavy armour. So his sort of guerrilla tactics have held the Fulminators at bay, and he started landing his heavy armour. However, the commander of the Fulminators is wily and has identified what's been going on. So he has sent a number of his units. He has sent elements from his second company but primarily from the vanguard element of the Fulminators to find the Night Lord's landing zones and set up for an attack so that other units can be called in. So we are playing a scenario from the book, from the narrative section of the book, called Ambush. It's circa 100 power aside, and the way that Ambush works is displayed lengthways, no, widthways. That's a deployment zone, that's a deployment zone, and that's a deployment zone. The Night Lords can deploy 5 inches from the centre all the way up. Then there's a 12-inch gap. Then the Fulminators can deploy on either edge. Now, there's a bit of this is quite an interesting one, this. The attacker, the Fulminators, have to decide whether or not they are going to press the attack or they're going to wait for the rest of their forces to arrive. So essentially, they've got some forces close by, and the Night Lords are aware that they're here. So the fight is going to start. I like to think of it that some of the forces of the second company, their Primaris armour, it isn't Phobos armour, it's not quite so sensor dampened, and that's been picked up by the Auspexes of the Night Lords. So the Night Lords know there's a fight ensuing. Now the Fulminators have a choice. They can either hold back and wait till all the rest of their forces arrive, then attack, or they can attack with the forces that they have to start with, and reinforcements will come in later turns. It's an interesting one either way. Now, in game terms, the ramifications of this, if the Fulminators are going to press the attack, they can't deploy any more than half of their army. Again, on the edges. The other half all goes into reserve and can only come on from turn 3 at the earliest. So it's quite a disadvantage there. The way the game's going to be won is the power of the units destroyed is added up and turned into points, and then it's a direct how many points at the end. The only extra one being, if you kill the enemy warlord, it's an extra 10 points. Now, the Night Lords can't have any units in reserve. They all have to deploy on the table. They can't add to the army during the game. I think that's it. Have I missed anything? I'm going to have to go and have a quick look at the book while you get to see the table from the other angle. That first turn, yeah, we'll come to that in a second. That rule's called On Our Own. Units cannot be added to your army. Slay the warlord, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. So, if the Fulminators press the attack, they choose who has first turn. If they choose to wait, the Night Lords choose has first turn. Yes, if the Fulminators wait, they can deploy as much of their army as they want with normal reserve rules. But yeah, they're surrendering the initiative to their enemy who know they're here. I think if you look at the description in the book of the mission, it's meant to sort of represent a convoy going down the middle and an ambush, but not all the units being in place. I think it's quite nice. This is where the Night Lords are gathering their heavy armour units. I can sort of imagine sort of Thunderhawk landers dropping here, detaching rhinos and land raiders, and then flying off. It's been a few days since the previous skirmishes. It's taken the Vanguard Marines a little while to work out what's been going on, and the Night Lords have managed to get quite a bit of material down on the planet. Because it's been so long, there's enough time for the enhanced metabolism of the Astartes to kick in. Lots of wounds have healed. Where people have been injured, They've been replaced from, either in the Night Lord's case, the other members of other claws have landed on the table and are filling in the holes in the structure. New armour pieces have been salvaged, etc., etc. With the Fulminators, the apothecaries have either patched them all up, or those that have fallen have been replaced from the reserve companies. Have I missed anything? Oh, yes, I missed a big one. So, as most of you watching will be aware, well, I guess you won't be aware. So the timing of this video is after the Space Marine Codex, but before the Chaos Marine Codex. So I've got a 9th edition Space Marine, 8th edition Chaos Marine. And in the 9th edition Space Marine Codex, all first generation Marines have an additional wound. They are all 2 wound models now. Now for me, it's narratively jarring for tactical Marines in the Fulminators to have 2 wounds. Not that they would have tactical Marines because they're a Primaris chapter, but you know what I mean. And the Night Lords only have 1. So what I've been playing on my channel and in the members area of my channel, because there's also a subscription bit to this channel, which I'll talk about at the end if anyone was interested. I have been playing all my games with all Chaos Marines having an extra wound. I've worked out that by comparing various different rules from different books, from Start and 9th Ed to Codices and so on, the difference for Space Marines is 3 points per model. If it was a 1 wound model before, it costs 3 points more now. If it was a more than 1 wound model before, it costs 5 points more now. So when I'm playing in strict points limits games, I'm paying an extra 3 or 5 points respectively for the models for the extra wounds. This is a power limit game, and it's 100 power. Actually, what is quite interesting actually is that because the Space Marines have a new codex, their power levels are now much more aligned to the points. So, as 100 power is somewhere around 1900 points. Whereas with the Night Lords, who've got an older dex, 100 power is around 1700 points. So, it all balances out. And like I said, this is narrative, so I don't really give a stuff if it's balanced or not. It's a scenario, and it's going to be absolutely drenched in awesome sauce. So that, I don't know if the Space Marines are going to suppress the attack. I have to decide before. What am I talking about? Of course they're going to press the attack. They're not going to wait to be pounced on by the Night Lords. So yes, time to go and look at the armies. So here is 100 powers worth of Fulminators. So, what have we got? Well, I've kind of placed it out in the halves that it's going to deploy as. So, this is the reserve bit, and this is the forward deployment-y bit. So, characters first. Okay, so I think for the first time on the channel, we have Brother Captain Agarian, who is the captain of the 2nd Company Fulminators. His warlord trait is Champion of Humanity, which gives him +1 attack versus characters in melee and +1 to hit and wound versus characters in melee. So he's my captain. And then we have over here, leading the forward element, is Brother Lieutenant Kalmar of the 10th Company Vanguard. I've spent a command point to give him a warlord trait as well. And he has Rights of War. Units within 6 inches of him, friendly units, friendly core and character units, yawn, have the OBSEC rule. He also has a relic, the Vox Spiritum, which increases his auras by 3 inches. Basically, it's an experimental pseudo-psychic Vox created by Belisarius Crawl. And to be honest, it sounds a bit like heresy to me. But, you know, I'm sure we can execute him later. So what is in each bit? Okay. So, first off, we have 10... Oh, it's... this is a single spearhead formation. I could have done... no, I couldn't, actually. I was going to say I could have done I could have reorganised 16 Marines... 17 Marines? 18 Marines into 3 units to have the extra... To not have the command point penalty. But that's not how I roll, baby, because I've got 2 squads. And this squad... I'm jumping about the place all over the shop now. This squad was going to be 10 and be riding in the repulsor. Then I realised the captain would have been on foot. So, because he's wearing Gravis armour, he needs to kick out 2 of his battle brothers. Or more to the point, whilst 2 of the injured and fallen are in the process of being replaced from the reserve companies, he's taken the 8 that remain and that have recovered and are fit for service in the repulsor. Yeah, boom, fixed it. So yeah, it's a single spearhead, so I've paid 3 command points for that. Also paid a command point for his extra warlord trait. It's 50 Marines in total, so demi-company strength, even though the Primaris organisation is a lot more fluid than companies and demi-companies in that sense. As in, it's not always 3 units of it's not 3 tactical, 1 assault, 1 dev, is what I'm getting at. And I can't remember all the proper words, so forgive me. I'm very pleased there's now a Primaris Tech Marine now, because that means this guy doesn't represent all of my chapter's Tech Marines just by being a gunner and me having painted him red. Oh, I'm digressing. Did I mention rambling? I did. Okay, so in the advanced element, we have Captain Kalmar, who is a Phobos lieutenant, so he can infiltrate. I think he can infiltrate. They cannot. I'm sure they can infiltrate. I'm going to have to check that. It's my first time using the new Space Marine book. I might get a few things wrong. I apologise if I do. It's almost inevitable when there's not someone else to tell you you're getting things wrong, who has also read the book, because I've got to chop and change a lot. I'm rambling too much now. Okay, so 10 neophytes, 10th Company Scouts with sniper rifles and camo cloaks. These are not the same 10 neophytes that got annihilated in game number 2. They are a different... The thing with neophytes is there are no restrictions on how many neophytes you can have in your chapter. You could have 3,000 of them just waiting to fill in the gaps. I think, technically. I might be wrong about that. Either way. Oh, I've just realised by noticing my terrain sheet on the wall that I haven't talked about terrain. Ruins, obstacles, usual stuff. 10 neophytes, 10 Vanguard Marines deploying in a unit of 7 Reavers and 3 Suppressors. I fixed the Suppressors, they don't look silly anymore. Please excuse the fact that this unit, some of the models have grav chutes and some don't. That's because some of these models were snap fit ones to make up the numbers. The unit doesn't have grav chutes because they're already in place, but they do have grapple guns. Yep. So we have this is second squad? First squad. This is first squad. 10 intercessors, one of which has a stasis grenade launcher. They will be combat squadding into 2 units, I think. And 5 Hellblasters. 8th squad? 9th squad. 9th squad Hellblasters. Then over here we have the aforementioned Captain Agarium with his Mastercrafted Power Sword and Boltstorm Gauntlet. 8 Marines, not 8 Intercessors, Squad 2, as I mentioned, because they've suffered casualties and absolutely nothing to do with trying to fit the guy into the repulsor. The repulsor is WYSIWYG. That's the lovely thing about doing power. I don't have to count the guns and the points. But looking at the model, it's got twin heavy bolter, las talon, Onslaught Gatling gun, heavy stubber. I think they're crack grenade launchers, auto launchers, frag store. No. What's the thing? Storm bolters, and an Icarus doodah. I'm getting all technical, as you can tell. So yes, so they're going to be arriving in that. He's coordinating the assault from there. He's got all of these guys as blips and runes on his Auspex display, moving them into position. He's feeding them intel about the enemy movements and all that good stuff. We have 5 Inceptors with the dual bolt guns, the dual WYSIWYG, the bolter variants. And then we have Dreadnought on an Ancient Agamenus, who has Icarus launcher, a couple of storm bolters, heavy Gatling cannon, Onslaught Gatling cannon, and an Onslaught Gatling cannon. And that is the Fulminator army. Okay, let's take a look at the Night Lords. And this is 100 power of Night Lords. It's quite spread out because I've tried to put the people stood in front of the tanks that they're riding in, but then I failed. So, what have we got? Right, lots to go through. So, this is First Claw, which is a unit of 8 chosen plus 2 characters. Is effectively like the like first company kind of thing. It's the foremost unit in the Talon of the 53rd Night Lords. So yes, we have a unit of chosen, 2 characters, and these are my characters for the army. There's Vinkov, the Talon champion. I use the Exalted Champion stats for him. He's got a Power Fist and Plasma Pistol. He's the Warlord of this army and has the Warlord trait Murderous Reputation, which means any 6s to hit, from what I can see, it doesn't matter whether it's melee or range, do an extra mortal wound in addition. Not great, but what I've done for all my characters for my Night Lords army is I've picked what Warlord trait they're each going to have, and I didn't want to duplicate, so that's what he's got. And he's not always going to be the Warlord. He will often not be the Warlord, especially when I've painted the Talon Master, and he'll be here a lot. Next to him is Mirak the Executioner. So we're using the Master of Executions stats for him. He has all sorts of funky stuff against enemy characters. He is a beast in combat. And he has the Hellforged Relic, I think that's what they're called, or the Heretic Artifact, or whatever it is. The Stormbolt Plate. It's got a 2+ save, and he always counts as being in cover, so he gets that extra bit of cover save. And there are also some strats for Night Lords that are based on whether or not you're in cover, so they'll apply to him. The 8 chosen. Obviously, we've got some... they're chosen, so they've got extra attacks. We've got a mix of bolters and chainswords. That's true across the whole army. Anything that hasn't got a special has a mix of bolters and chainswords. But we also have all the toys in here. We have Power Fist and Combi Flamer on the unit champion, or the model that's technically the unit champion, even though, I mean, one of these guys is obviously the leader. We've got to have Bolter, Melter, Plasma, and a Power Axe. So that's First Claw. This is First Claw's ride. It's a Land Raider that needs a name. It definitely needs a name. It's covered in lots and lots of lovely skulls that are freshly flayed. Twin Lance Cannons, Heavy Bolters, Combi Bolter, Havoc Launcher. And it's the first time I'm using the Land Raider, so it's the first time First Claw actually get to deploy in their transport, which is nice. Then, moving along the line, we have the Leviathan Dreadnought Sahal, known, not within his earshot, as the Insane. It's a former Praetorian. They don't wake him up very often because he's an utter maniac who's very likely to run off and do his own thing. So that'll be fun. He's got a couple of heavy flamers on his chest guns. He's got a claw with, I think it's a melter gun. I keep forgetting it's there because it's quite, you can't really see it from top down, but there is a melter gun in there. And that was a butcher cannon array back when they were a thing, but they're not now. So it's now a storm cannon, which is like a uber auto cannon. I wish I'd persevered with magnetizing him so I could switch the weapons out, but I didn't, so I can't. Then moving along, we have Second Claw, which is a unit of 5 Chaos Space Marines. Where's the champ? Champion's got a power axe and then a missile launcher. And again, a mix of bolters, chainswords. Then we have Fourth Claw, which is a unit of Havocs, 2 Chain Reaper autocannons, an autocannon, and a heavy bolter, plasma gun on the champ. And these 2 units are very, very disgruntled to learn that they are sharing a rhino together. Then we have Fifth Claw, which is a 10-man claw, power fist, melter gun, heavy bolter, and a mix of bolters and chainswords. They're also going to be in a rhino. And then just because I started to run out of, well, I didn't run out of space, it felt wrong to start going around the corner of the table. Then over here we have Eighth Claw, another unit of 10 Chaos Space Marines, chain axe, plasma pistol, melter gun, and autocannon. Behind them we have a Mortis Dreadnought Crucian, late of the Archimedes, former Archimedes. The Archimedes are the Terminator bodyguards of the Night Haunter, who each individually swore themselves to various lords following the Night Haunter's death. My Archimedes, sadly, also on the painting desk. On the painting desk, I've had units I really wanted to use in this game, on both sides. My Fulminators haven't got a lot of anti-tank, and this is an anti-tank game. But I've had my Eliminators and extra Hellblasters and all sorts of things sat on my painting desk for so long. It's been 4 months since I last did one of these, and I didn't want the series to just die. Equally with the Night Lords, I've got Predators and Bikes and Terminators and other lovely things upstairs that I haven't. There's been other priorities, unfortunately, on my time, like filming my bat reps, but also my painting time has gone on other things, sadly. I chose poorly with all my different series. I've chosen things that I need to film for, that I've got models I need to paint for. I've since updated my decision-making paradigm, so that shouldn't be a problem going forward. However, it is what it is now. Anyway, sorry. So the Mortis Dreadnought, using the Hellbrute stat line for it. Hellbrute, plasma cannon, and oopsie-daisy, and a power scourge. And that is the Night Lord army. It's a heavy armour deployment, and they are aware of the enemy's presence. They are all going to be starting in their vehicles, which is going to make it quite interesting for the Space Marines who are pressing the attack with the complete lack of anti-tank weaponry. I did think it would actually be more of a balanced game if they didn't press the attack, so they had more anti-tank on the table at the start of the game. But it just feels like you might as well play a normal scenario if you're going to do that. So yeah, I mean, it represents the fact, right, that the results from the previous 3 games have been mixed. So the Marines won 2, Night Lords won 1. So the Marines have, they know where the Night Lords are and they're preparing an ambush, but they haven't managed to get everything in place in time. So there's a bit of impetus from the Night Lords who might sort of ruin their trap. They've taken a little bit of the initiative away. Otherwise, it would have been pretty much a shooting fish in the barrel kind of scenario. So I'm cool with that. I think that's a nice blend of the results of those games. Because some of them, even though there were victories and defeats, some of them didn't feel quite so clear-cut. Anyway, so I think that's everything I need to tell you about the Night Lords army. Yes, so it's time to do deployment. Oh, yes, it is. So, narratively speaking, I've decided that the Night Lords should deploy everything first, because the Marines have specifically gotten into position. I've also decided that because they have been somewhat taken by surprise, that they shouldn't all be clumped up in a nice defensive formation that the Marines will have a hard time cracking. There's got to be some, some balance to that. So the Night Lords are deployed. This time, I wrote it down. Hang on. Let's start at this end, shall we? Okay, this Rhino has got 8 talon in it, 8 claw in it. This one in the middle has 2nd claw and 5th claw, the 5-man unit and the Havocs. This obviously has 1st claw, which is the 8 chosen, the Talon champion, and the Master of Executions. And then this Rhino has got 5th claw in it. Right, so I will now. You see, most of my Marines can deploy anywhere they want on the table that's more than 9 inches away from the enemy. And it is my first turn. There's no seizing the initiative or anything like that. I am going first, assuming I want to. I don't know why I would have taken the first turn if I didn't want to. And yes, I want my reserves coming on as soon as humanly possible. I only want them to have 2 turns before I'm shooting them again. So yes, Marines are going first. Right, deploy Marines. Okay, so the Fulminators have deployed. Concentrating my fire, there's no point in putting 1 unit of 5 men against each of these chaos units. That would be stupid. So not doing that. So they effectively I kind of imagine the reinforcements are going to come in further down the table, but we'll see. We will see. We will see what happens. Really, the choice was to go at one end or another, and the lines of fire are better here. So they've gone at this end. Deliberately split out between the 2 sides. Turns out these guys can't infiltrate. And the only thing they can do is drop from the sky, which doesn't really work in this scenario because they're already here, they're already down. It would have worked if I'd put 2nd Company models down and then being reinforced by the Vanguard, but that would seem so counterintuitive because the Vanguard are the scouting element. Anyway, I could get tied up in all that. Okay, so we've got the Reavers and the LT over here. They're going to push forward and hopefully charge whatever's shot out of that Rhino. They've got good guns now. Their guns have got -2 AP, and they are rerolling 1s to wound, so maybe able to plink some wounds off various things. The Hellblasters are basically going to march through. They're going to basically blow that door open and run through into this ruin and start shooting at stuff. The snipers will take pot shots. And these Marines have combat squadded. They don't want to present any single large tempting targets. Also clustering together in their mark of armour whilst they're trying to be stealthy. Not so great. So yes, I've combat squadded those, which means I will suffer when it comes to using stratagems, because it'll only affect obviously the one unit. The suppressors down on this side. Of course, no one can shoot through this. It's a ruin, so they're going to have to move into it to shoot. So effectively, I think the first move is going to be everything's going to move. Obs. Then suppressors and hellblasters into one of the rhinos, try and crack it open. Then all the other anti-infantry gun into whatever heretic scum rolls out of it. That's the theory. I could always do some charging if I do manage to open stuff. Yeah, anyway, so that's the deployment. That's the plan. So, Fulminators turn 1 movement. Here we go! So, after movement, it looks like this. The Fulminators circling in on this end of the foe and avoiding having to face anything at that end of the table. Their goal is to do some serious damage up here. So everything's as described, the Reavers and the Phobos LT and everything. Yeah, it's what I said. Like for you, 10 seconds ago. For me, quite a while. Okay, so first things first. Done moving, let's do some shooting. So what's only firing at one thing? These suppressors are only firing at that rhino. Now they're in the building, they can fire out of it. Just for note, even though I've got craters in these buildings, I'm not counting them as craters, I'm counting it as the footprint of the ruin. It just looks cooler. So there's no movement penalty in these buildings. Okay, so suppressors. Rhino. 3 shots each, 9 shots with their accelerator autocannons. They moved and they're heavy, so they're hitting on 4s. Wow. Okay. 7 hits, only missing out on 1 because they moved. Strength 7, toughness 7, wounding on 4s. That's not as good by a long stretch. 2 get through. They are 2 damage each, and because we're in the Devastator doctrine, they're -2 AP, saving on 5s. 1 pass, 1 fail. It is down to wounds. Oh, I picked up the dice, but I forgot to get the wound counters in anticipation. I don't know. Right then. The Hellblasters, same target. To overcharge or not to overcharge? It's very early to be suiciding my Hellblasters. Now, we're going to stick with the Codex Astartes protocols. Hitting on 3s. Boy, am I glad I did that. Wounding on 4, strength 7, toughness 7. However, rerolling 1s because of the 9-inch range of the LT. No 1s to reroll. -3, so it's 4 go through, saving on 6s. 1 save, so it's down to 5 wounds. Right. I now need to have a think about what can do it some damage. No, I don't. Do I have a grenade launcher in this on it? I do. Okay, so crack grenade from the Astartes grenade launcher and rapid fire goodness from the others. So crack grenade, hitting on 3. No. 3, 6, 8. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. -1, sadly. Saving. Oh, what's 2 wounds go through? It has got 3 left. Okay. Right. The LT has a special gun, but I need to go and look up its stats. Mastercrafted Oculus Bolt Carbine. That's a mouthful. Rapid fire 1. Hits. Strength 4. Wounding on a 5. No. It's 2 damage. That's all that's special about it. So I think then we are going to have 7 pistols from the Reavers. Oh, are they all in range? We're going to have 4 pistols from the Reavers. Hitting on 3s. Alright, 3 hits, 3 wounds. This is going alright. Wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s. 1. -2, save for 5. Yes. Oh dear. Deary, 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 dear. 10 scouts? 10 scouts. 5, 10 scouts. Hitting on 3s. That was appalling. That was appalling. 3 hits. Okay, wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s, but 6s do mortal wound in addition. Reroll a 1. Nothing. You need some more training, guys. Right. So, the only remaining unit... Oh, really? Is that what it's come to? Oh, it's going to have to be. I don't know what else I'm going to do. 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 shots, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. -1, which is saves. So it's got 3 wounds left. Right, it's charge time. Well, those intercessors will charge it. The Reavers. What are the Reavers going to do? Well, they could go into the Dread and get absolutely murdered to death by it. Right, let me have a think. Right, no guts, no glory. I think I can use some shenanigans with the Reavers to yeah, maybe. I mean, this is a long shot. I really probably shouldn't be doing this. Is the LT going to go in as well? I mean, that'd be really stupid. Yep, he's going in too. So they're going in, and it's an 8-inch charge. It's 8 inches. I'm almost sad that worked. No Overwatch there. And the intercessors, 10-inch charge. Yeah, they're in. Right, let's move. Okay, so I think I forgot to mention at the start that the Fulminators chapter tactics are bolter fusillade, and I honestly can't remember if I remembered it when I was firing the bolters, which is reroll ones to hit with bolters, and preferred enemy heretics, because they've been in the Indomitus Crusade the entire time, purging Ultramar of heretics. They were also born during the Scouring, so it really kind of fits with them. So, what am I doing? Yes, so what am I doing? I've got a mitt full of dice for these. Spending 2 CP, 1 CP, oh my word, on Gene Wrought Might. Belisarius' creations are powerful indeed. Each roll to hit of a 6 will automatically wound the Dreadnought. And they've got 4 attacks each on the charge. So I'm going to pile them in. So 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s. Okay. Oh, Jiminy. Jiminy Jillica's radioactive, man. This is a lot of 1s. Oh, it's still a lot of 1s. 5 more? That wasn't in the script. Right, but that is 6 wounds. And then the rest of these are wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s because of the LT. 2 1s to reroll. 1, 2, 9. Okay, 9 saves, sadly of 3+. If only I could have put myself in the assault doctrine. Never mind. 9 saves of 3+. 1, 2, 3 fails. Okay, he's got 5 wounds left. The LT, I think he can move. He can do his pile in, but he can't get to the Dread from there. Yeah, that sucks. Okay. Right then, we have 15, 16 attacks with those boys on the Rhino. Oh, and they might be within his reroll 1 range. On 3s, rerolling 1s. Wounded on 5s. Reroll the 1, I'll check the range afterwards, doesn't matter. Oh, 2! Can't do it! Can't do it! Takes 1 wound off it. Oh, okay, right. Well, the Rhino will attack back for D3 attack. I know it's just 1 attack, but it hits. Wounds. Saves. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, so I can handle it. I can stick with the blue dice because both armies are blue. With the Power Scourge having been charged, the Dreadnought has 8 attacks. However, we are spending 2 CP as the Fulminator guy on transhuman physiology so that 1s, 2s and 3s to wound don't wound because he's up to strength 8 with that Power Scourge. So he's sitting on 3s. Some misses. Oh, death to the False Emperor. So now he's going to wound on 4s with the Power Scourge. There we go. That's saved a couple of Astartes. Saving on probably not that. I need to go and check. Yep, it's -2, 2 damage. So 2 are the Reavers fall. Okay, so that is the end of the fight phase. The Morse's Dreadnought is unstable. Let's see if it goes nuts on a 6. It does not. Okay, so that's the end of Fulminators turn 1. Right, what are the Night Lords going to do? Well, it's probably going to involve being really emo and angry. Yeah. And probably, yeah. Bob! I think they know we're here. So, the end of the Night Lord's movement phase. The Leviathan and the Rhino were ordered to stay down there. They're having none of that. And most of the point, the Leviathan doesn't think so he's come up. And the Rhino doesn't want to be left unprotected, so they're moving up as well. The First Claw doesn't want to show its hands just yet, so they have remained in their Land Raider. Almost the first thing that happened was this Land Raider, the 5th, 8th Claw piled out and have run into that that building to take out those Havocs. Hellblasters. There's a nifty little stratagem I can use for when they're attacking out of cover as well, so that'll totally be used. The Dread has stayed exactly where he is, because he is where he wants to be. Oh yes, he is. The Rhino's fallen back so they can be shot. Out of this Rhino have piled 2nd and 4th Claws. 2nd Claw have run off over to those Marines over there to beat them up a bit. Well, shoot them up, beat them up, chop them up, skin them, nail them up. You know, the huge. And these Havocs are going to pick their targets. The Land Raider, I mean, First Claw could have got out and absolutely butchered something, but they know there are other enemy contacts on the horizon, but their Vox isn't being very specific. Their Vox is jammed. They don't know where. They're just seeing returns. You're reading it wrong. No, they're coming. So, and from a game perspective, if the Night Lords get too near the edge, they can be effectively auto-charged by any of the Fulminators coming on from the side. Because these are our table edges, right? So if there's some Night Lords here, then I can move on within 9 inches of them and charge them. So, yeah, that is going to be unfortunate. Sorry, I'm trying to do my Mr. Burns, but I'm holding the camera with one hand. Good. No, that's a bit of Burns / Palpatine. That's not a good crossover. So yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do first in such a target-rich environment. I think these heretics will put all their fire into those scum. Okay, so 5 saves to take. 1 at -3, but +1 for the cover. So 5s. That's a wound. And these are 2s. Yep, they're good. 1 wound on 1 guy. Next, 2nd Claw are going to unload into this unit of intercessors. Crack missile missed. 3 saves of 3+. All saved. Right, what we're doing next. So the Leviathan, in absolute fits of rage, cannot find a clear target to shoot at, except it can see some scouts poking their heads out on top of this building. So it's going to try and murderize them with a storm cannon. Now, the scouts have +1 to the save because they're in cover, so the save's 3+, but they're also, because they're camo cloaks, -1 to hit. We're also going to spend the command point on smokescreen, because they're a smokescreen unit. And so that's another -1 to hit. So the Leviathan is only hitting on 5s. Yeah, okay. That's 7 5s out of 8 dice. Sucks to be you, lads. Strength 7, so winning on 3s. 6 wounds. Goodness me. -1 saves. That brings the saves down to 4 up. Oh, now the dice equal out. And they're 2 damage each. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 dead scouts. I'll take these 4 off here. Okay. Right, while the Dreadnought, the Hellbrute Dreadnought, will fire its plasma cannon into combat. D3 times for 1. Hitting on that. Strength is 8, winning on a 2. Minus that. It's either 2 or 3, I can't remember, but 4 is definitely a fail. 2 damage, kills 1. Okay. So I guess now these Havocs, 4th claw, are going to utterly murder those 5 intercessors. Are they? Okay, I doubt it. Right, so out of the heavy bolter, autocannon, 2 chain reaper cannons, and a plasma gun, we've got 1 wound with a heavy bolter. -1, saving on a 4. No, 2 damage, kills 1. I do like that. And then this many saves, and -1 for the Chain Reaper autocannon. Everything else did nada. So 4s. 1, 2, 3 fails. So that kills another 1.5. Oh, I need another wound counter. So the Storm Bolter from the uninjured Rhino is going to go into him as well. Hits thrice. Runs once. Save the 3. No, kills the injured guy. Right then, how to divvy up the Land Raider. Okay, I'm going to put the 4 last cannons into the suppressors. Basically just firing into this ruin, trying to destroy it and crumple it down on them. And then all the other gun. So the Havoc launcher, the heavy bolter, the combi bolter, into those 2 remaining intercessors. So first off, 4 last cannons into these guys. 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. -3 from a last cannon, I think, with a 2-up save. Saves on 5. Both save. Obviously, they've shot bits of debris that have not fallen on the suppressors. So, lucky them. Right, heavy bolters. 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. 5 wounds. Saving on 4s. 1 dead. I was hoping I wouldn't have to look up the stats of the Havoc launcher. Right, the guy on the pinnacle combi bolter. Can he kill the last guy? I mean, it's pretty unlikely, isn't it? 4s to wound. 1 wound. Saving on a 3. Failed. So he's got 1 wound left. So I have to check the stats. I should have trusted my memory more. It is indeed heavy D6, strength 5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They are raining havoc. 6 shots. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. Saving on 3s. Both save. He lives. He lives. He lives. The Havocs will probably charge him and hack him to death, I think. Is that all the shooting? You fired. You fired. You fired. You fired. You fired. You can't fire. You have no targets. Poop. And you, sir, have taken the top off this building. I love the idea of having a completely assemblable modular thing so you can remove bits, but it would be utterly insane to try and do it. Right. Charges. So first off, I'm backing up so I can read the book. We're spending 1 command point on From the Night on this unit, which means if they're in cover when they declare the charge, they get +2 to the charge, and they get +1 in the ensuing combat. +1 to hit. So they're all going to hit on 2s. And am I going to overwatch? Yeah, I'm going to overwatch. Am I going to overcharge? Yeah, I think I'm dead if I don't. The Codex Astartes would definitely advocate that action, I think. Okay, so they're in 5 inches, 7 inches, they're in. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, no, I'm going to have to do it separately, aren't I? The guy who's already injured. No. The next guy. No. The next guy. No. The next guy. Yes, a hit. The next guy. No. Winning on a 2. Yes. Saving on a 5, because he is in a crater as well. Yes. Well, that was all a colossal waste of... It's not a waste of time. There was suspense. Yeah, that did nothing. That unit there, second claw, is going to charge those intercessors. I don't think the intercessors are going to overwatch. No, I don't think so. There's only 5 of them. They can have them. 5 to charge puts them in. And the Havocs will charge at that lone intercessor and also make it in. And that is it for charges, I think. Okay, so we're starting here. It's a little bit confuzzling because we've got lots of different types of the configurations vary in there. We've got the champion with his chain axe. We've got 4 guys with Stasis chainswords, and they have a better AP. And then we have 5 guys with other weapons. Command point from the shadows, so we're going to hit on 2s, as mentioned. Also, command point on veterans of the long war, so we're going to wound on 1 better as well. So we will wound on 3s, or +1 to wound. Okay, let's... on or off, on or off, on or off, off. Okay, so quite disappointed with the chainswords. However, we have 8 saves from -1 from a combination of the axe and the swords. So these save on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4 fails. And these are from regular attacks. These will save on 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4 fails. So there is 1 Hellblaster left. No, 1 was already on a wound. There is 1 Hellblaster left on 1 wound. Okay, the Imperial guy isn't paying to interrupt because he is rinsing through his command points. Oh, it's such a shame that that one guy didn't die, because I could have used a stratagem to terrify the scouts. Ah, that would have been great. They'd have run away screaming. Ah, never mind. I've had some issues with the placement of the models on the crater there. There's a guy in the corner lying down that I can't get out without moving all the others. Something about his suit being corroded and the auto senses not lining up and him falling over a lot. Right, so we've got 3 guys with bolters, 1 guy with the chainsword, 1 guy with the champion with the axe. So, regular guys. Oh, I've put another point in for veterans. Should have mentioned that. Didn't. Long war. So, and then say, roll to wound. No, 2 wounds. Chainsword. 2 misses, long war. To wound, 3s, 2 wounds. Power axe. 2 hits, long war. Ooh. 3 hits, strength is, I want to say 6 with the axe. Yeah, the axe is +2 -2. Yeah, 6. So 3s with +1. So 2s. Okay, so we've got 2 saves at dash. 1 pass, 1 fail. So that's 1 wound. 2 saves at -1. 2 fails. And then 2 at -2. 1 pass, 1 fail. 4 wounds. 2 die. Okay, let's take the guys at either end. Let's whittle them down into a bit of a knot. Right, and now we will do the Havocs, trying to plink the last wound off that guy. Right, 11 attacks from the Havocs, 4 saves to take. Needs to pass all 4. 3 up. He stands. So those Havocs are shooting next turn, unless they can kill him in the interim. Right, it attacks back. Okay, from the Hellblaster Sergeant. 1. Nothing. From, is he the sergeant? No, that unit doesn't have a sergeant. It's a combat squaddy splitty thing. 2 from that guy. Both missed. He is obviously parrying and being battered around in his armour like a good one. Now these guys are going to step up. Oh, hang on. They should have had an extra attack each. Shock Assault. Stop it, dice. He had an extra attack, which he re-rolls because preferred enemy, which hit, which doesn't wound. He had an extra attack, which hits, which wounds, which saves. I suddenly thought, why am I rolling this the third time? Oh yeah, it's an armour save. Right. The 3 intercessors over there. Reroll the 1. They all hit. Yeah, they're keen. Wounding on 4s. Ooh, not so keen now. And 4 saves on 10,000-year-old power armour. But they're good! That's all the combat. Right, now it is the morale phase. So I know this sphere has changed. So these guys lost 2, and they're by a Night Lord unit, so they have -3 on their leadership of 8. 1 is also automatically passed. This guy in the middle, he lost 4, and he's got a Night Lord next to him, so... Oh, hang on, is he within 6 inches? So it's the vehicle count. Let me roll it and then work that out. 5 and 4 is 9. He's gone. He has fallen back in good order. Fallen back to the hills. Yeah. And then the guy in there, whose name I have forgotten, he lost 4. There's also a Night Lord unit next to him. See, Night Lords work better if we totally didn't do this combat. Hang on, I am going to come back to it, but I'll just finish this. Come on, brain, what are you doing? I dropped that. Drop dice never count. Come on, brain. 3 and 4 is... Hang on, so his leadership, he's the Sarge, so it's 8. -1 for the Night Lords is 7. He lost 4. 4 and 3 is 7. He passes. He's good. Okay, right, we do have this combat to do. And no Shock Assault anymore, so the Reavers have got 3 attacks each, plus the Sarge with an extra attack. Do I spend another point on Gene Wrought Might? No. No, I don't have the points. But I will re-roll the 1 because we're used to fighting antiquated heretics like this. Wounding on 5s. That's some wounding. 1 fail, he takes a wound. Right then. Now it will be 1 point for Gene Wrought Physiology. Running out of points. I did use it last time. It feels appropriate that they are still well made, if that makes sense, so I'm going to use it again. Okay. Well, he's hitting on 3s. Death to the False Emperor. So that's 7 hits. He's only going to wound on 4s now, though. Yeah, that's saved them a bunch of wounds. Armour save of 5s. 1 pass. 2 die. Okay, they lost 2. 2's definitely a pass. Okay. So now it's the Marines. Oh, the Scouts. They lost 4. 4 and 4 is 8. They still have their Sergeant. They're fine. And they're not within... Are they within 6 inches of a Night Lord? Hang on. Not quite. They're out by a smidge. So they pass. Okay. Right, that's the end of turn 1. So we're now on Fulminators turn 2. Turn 2. Yes, turn 2. So, I'm going to talk you through my dilemma. So the Night Lord guy, heretic scum that he is, has played We Have Come For You on 2 units, which is a Night Lord stratagem that you play at the start of the movement phase, and you play on the Night Lord unit, this unit, that unit, and enemy units that aren't vehicles cannot fall back. So he has locked that Hellblaster in combat and the Reavers in combat. So I'm at a bit of a loss as to what to do. Those guys don't want to fall back anywhere. They are happy where they are. They'll just muller those gradually. They'll keep them busy. They're kind of near the edge of the table, so when reinforcements arrive, we'll make a mess of those. No problem. The only shooting target, really, the only infantry shooting target are these havocs. So I could leave the suppressors here and oops, come on, camera, and take shots into them. I might do them some serious damage. That's probably then game over for the suppressors, because there's a lot of stuff in that. There's that Land Raider and a lot of stuff in that Land Raider, and potentially storm cannons and the dreadnought behind it. Alternately, what I was going to do was fly him over here to kill off the dreadnought. Oh, do you know what? I didn't roll to see if the dreadnought went insane at the end of the fight phase. It did not. That helps with the continuity. Pull back here to shoot, but I can't do that. And they'll come to roughly here, and then, okay, I could shoot the rhino. I really can't shoot the rhino. Not with my lads in the way. So, what do I do? Do I stay there? I mean, I could get position further up here to try and stay further out the way of a charge. That's probably a good idea. Oh, is it? I don't know. I really don't know. And what to do with the LT, because charging him in against the dreadnought, I mean, this was, let's be honest, this was not a good idea. Charging that dread. Yeah, super bad idea. But, you know, lessons were learned, but not by these guys. They're dead. The Phobos LT, could he? Maybe he could plink the last couple of wounds off that rhino, or maybe some fire into the... No, if he'd get line of sight to the havocs, he'd have to move back out of the way. I suppose he could do that. He could come up, you know, shoot them and then charge. Sorry, I'm waving the camera around. That must be very disconcerting. Need to think. Okay, to the extent of the moving was the LT shuffling around, so he's got line of sight on the havocs if he needs it. Right. Desperate times. I guess this is a forlorn hope, isn't it? When they decided not to wait, these units had a relatively small chance of survival. Okay. First off, suppressors. Let's kill those havocs. Hitting on 3s. That's a lot of non-3s. That's 4 not 3s. Disappointing. Strength 7, toughness 5. Wounding on 3s. 4 at -1. It's turn 2, so we're now in the tactical doctrine, so it is -1. Saving on 4s. 1 fail. 2 damage. Kills 1. Heavy bolts can die. What am I talking about? The autocannon can die. Despite the fact the autocannon is meant to be a better gun. Alright, okay, so the No, it's the scouts for... Oh, have the scouts got more chance of killing the vehicle? Actually, before I forget, 3 pistols into those marines over there. To bolt weapons, so I can reroll the 1s, but 2 still miss. 2 pistols from the Reavers. 2 hits, wounding on not that. And the Hellblaster has a pistol, which hits, which doesn't win. Oh, it's not the Marines' day. Yeah, but they have brought a knife to a gunfight. Oh no, they brought a pistol to a tank fight. What next? Okay, so the neophytes are going to shoot at the tank? Yes, they're going to shoot at the tank. 4 hits. We're looking for 6s. 5s will do, but really looking for 6s. 2 6s and we're happy. 2 5s. Okay, 3s to save. Yeah, there we go. That's what we wanted, 6s. Right then, the rapid fire quadruple barreled named gun the Oculus, mastercrafted Oculus carbine. 2 shots at the in rapid fire rate. Does he hit on 2s? Does the LT hit on 2s? He does hit on 2s. Mastercrafted Oculus bolt carbine. It's quintuple barreled, and it says no cover. Strength 4. Okay. Oh, they're Havocs. They are strength 5, toughness 5, so 5s. 1 save of 3+, which is made. Oh! Right. Everything that's alive is fired. There's 1 charge move to make. Do we want to try and kill... Yes, we want to try and kill the Dreadnought. Will we kill the Dreadnought? The Dreadnought has got to be the target, right? In. Charges first. Oh, I should have read the stats of the LT. 1 minute. Right, he has 5 attacks on the charge with his paired combat blade. I mean, I'm not expecting this to work. It just would have been both uncowardly and unseemly to have stood there whilst his men got murdered. Because they wanted to back off, didn't they? And then these guys would have come around here and murderized it. But damn you, Night Lords. Hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s. Right, strength 4, toughness 5. Toughness a lot, so 5 to wound. Uno at -1. One takes a wound. Just the 1 wound. Right. It's now the Night Lord's guy's turn to pick a unit to fight with. I'm not worried about dying over there. I'm not worried about dying over there. I'll be honest, I'm not really worried about dying over here. So, okay, we will do this unit next. Okay, they've run out of steam. 1 regular save. Nope. And 2 at -1. 1 pass, 1 failed. 1 guy takes a wound. So, nothing doing there. So we are back with the Emperor's Astartes. So, we're going to do the... we're going to do the Reavers. Now, do I want to spend any command points on anything? It's a very slim chance of killing it, but you know it's desperate. Right? Yes. Let's. But no. Hitting on. Rerolling 1s, of course. Yep. So it's 5 hits. Good start. Okay. Wounding on 6s, 5s even. Rerolling 1s. Okay, that's 1 wound and 1 reroll. That could be 2 wounds. It's not 2 wounds. Saving on a 3+. No, so it's down to 2 wounds. Alright, Dreadnought's turn. We're going to have a go at this captain, lieutenant guy. He looks new. Unfortunately, he has 8 attacks because he's just been charged. Unfortunately for him, anyway. Hitting on 3s. 1 death to the False Emperor. Also misses. Strength 8, so wounding on 2s. -2, so saves of 5+. 1 save. 2 damage each. He's got 5 wounds. Oh dear. That's his chips cooked. So I don't forget, I'm going to roll now, see if he goes nuts at the end of the turn, which he doesn't. Okay, now the Marines can pick 1, so the Hellblaster's going to attack. Rerolling the 1. 2 wounds, 2 saves of 3+. 1 wound on 1 guy. I haven't got a wound token, I'll just put that there to remind me for the time being. And I'll do all the attacks back on him. And the Hellblaster was brought down with ease. Now the Intercessors over here. Oh, they're not having a good day. 3 hits. Is that the right number of dice? Yes, it is the right number of dice. 4's to wound. 3 up saves. They finally fail a save. 1 wound on this unit. And no morale to take on account of people being dead or not being able to fail. So now we move on to Night Lord's turn 2. Is it only turn 2? I think these Fulminators just tried to dig a hole with a rifle. Night Lords. So after Night Lord's movement phase 2, the units are starting to be much more consolidated together. The Leviathan is still incredibly frustrated with his lack of living targets, so he's... Sorry, scouts. So he's going to do another number on the scouts. That rhino's just trundling up. First Claw see no need whatsoever to get out of their Land Raider. They know there are other Marines about. They're going to put all the gun into these foolish Imperial dogs who did not fly away when they could have done. These guys are getting no backup. They made their bed. They'll lie in it. We don't like them anyway. This rhino's backed up out the way, and 8th Claw and 2nd Claw are lining up to basically execute the scouts. So we will move, without further ado, on to shooting. Pistols first. 2 pistols into those intercessors. Oops, come on. 2 hits. No wounds. The Mortis Dreadnought, 1 shot from his cannon, which misses because he's in combat as a heavy weapon. Right, okay. Everything from the Land Raider into the suppressors. Last cannons first. 2 hits, wounding on 2s, 2 wounds, saving on 5s again. No, 2 dead. 2 heavy bolters. 5 hits, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, saving on 3, because it's +1, -1. Yep, fine with that. Combi bolter. All hit. All wound. 2 up save with the combi bolter, however, because of the cover. Fails 1. He's got 1 wound left. Havoc launcher, D6 shots for 5. Hitting on 3s, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, 1 wound. Save for 2 up. Yes. He has a wound left. I again need a wound dice, but I'm not going to turn the camera off this time. I'm going to go and get one. You're going to get to see me picking it up live. Well, I say live. I mean, I recorded this probably quite a while before you watched it. It's not really that live. Oh, Sergeant died. Oh, well. Okay, right. Now, the execution of the scouts. It's their own fault for being inducted into such a silly thing. But their gene seed will be very useful. Yes, it will. As will their organs. Their skin, less so. That's more of a decoration. Anyway, am I going to use smoke screen? Not with the number of command points I've got left. So they're hitting on 4s this time. 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. Yeah. -2. No, it's -1, so save on 4s. 1 fails. That kills an AN other scout. Right then. The Havocs. Might as well do the Havocs. 2 chain cannons. I don't have enough dice here for 2 chain cannons. I'm going to have to re-roll 2 of the misses. Because I should have an extra 2 dice. So let's take out 2 misses and roll them again. And add them back in. There we go. No, Paul. It's -1 to hit them. The 3s aren't hits. I do sometimes catch things that were wrong. Strength 5, wounding on 3s. That is 5 wounds. +1, -1. So saving on 4s. 1, 2, 3 more dead scouts with their 1 wound each. Heavy bolter. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. Saving on a 4. Yes. Booyah! Go Scout armour. Plasma gun. Yep. Nope. Right then. All these Marines. Let's do the autocannon first. No. The plasma gun. 1. Wounding on a... Not that. Are these last 2 scouts going to live? Alright, let me count up how many bolt weapons we're talking. Right, 3 wounds with the various bolt weapons, pistols, bolters, etc. Saving of 3 ups. One fails. Just the sergeant left. He's more experienced. He knows when to duck. Wow. Wow, okay. So, any charges? No. Oh, that guy's still there. I could run over him with the Land Raider. That'd be kind of funny. I'd drive over him. No idea what the range is. Sit. 1 minute. Okay, so that happened. So no charges. Oh, that is a charge. Yeah, that's a charge. I now need to look at the book. I mean, this isn't going to work. 6 attacks, hitting on 6s. Just the False Emperor. 2 hits. We're running over the False Emperor. We are. We're going to run him over. Strength 8, wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. Oh, God. The ignominy. 2/3 plus saves. Pop. Like an unfortunate snail on an autumnal path, the suppressor is crushed by the Land Raider. That is an ignominious death, especially when he could have flown off when he saw it come in, firing his jets. Maybe all the other fire was throwing up so much debris and rubble and so on. Then as it gradually started to clear, he realised his sergeant was dead, his other compatriots were dead, and the Land Raider was literally on top of him. And by that point, his foot was stuck, his gun was mangled and caught in the mechanism, and he was dragged in, despite firing his jets, trying to pull away, and pulled under. Yeah, that's what happened. Right, it is now the Imperial guys' go to pick a unit. 2 wounds on that Dreadnought. Can we take out that Dreadnought? 7 attacks. Because they've got a base of 2 and an extra weapon. Right, come on. 7 attacks. Rerolling 1s. Okay, 6 hits. Good start. Wounding on 5. We need a few of these. 4 would be nice. Be happy with 3. I'll take 2. Alright. We need to pierce that ancient hull in 2 places. 3 up saves. It was a forlorn hope. Right then. So now these Astartes, these legionaries, that's the word I was looking for, will attack these Primaris Marines. Okay, significantly better this round. 2 with regular combat weapons. 1 fails, that's a wound. 2 with chainswords, so -1, saving on 4s. 1 fail, another wound. 2 against power axes, -2, saving on 5s. Another 1, that's a wound. 1 guy was already on 1 wound. And another. Okay, now it's the Imperial guy to pick. What's going to be this guy, isn't it? 3 attacks back. 3 hits. Wounding on 4s, 2 wounds. Saving on 3s, 2 saves. Look at that armour. How is that holding up after 10,000 years? Because it's incredibly well maintained, despite the fact it's a jigsaw of about 18 different suits, because each bit's only just been liberated, and they cleanse it for the taint of chaos at every possible opportunity, because these aren't Chaos Marines. Sorry, a bit of a rant there. They're not Chaos Marines! Right then, the Dreadnought is going to finish off these Reavers on 3s. Death to the False Emperor. Wounding on 2s. 5 wounds. Saving on 5s. 1, 2, 3 die. They'd fall. He didn't get injured this turn, so we don't have to roll to see if he goes nuts. Or did he? Just go nuts. So, at the end of Night Lord's turn 2... Oh, hang on. Morale... 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 9. He runs. He's seen his Strike Force leader brought low. All the neophytes he's leading die. So he has just jumped off the back of the building, arrested his fall on the various parapets, and he is off. This guy lost 2, can't fail. Oh, yes, he can. He's within 3 inches of a Night Lord unit, 6 inches of a Night Lord unit. He'll fail on a 6. Let me check the maths. 2 guys died. So his leadership's currently 7. 2 guys died. 5. He's fine. He's fine. I say fine. He's the only Marine left on the board. He's the only true Astartes left on the board. But it's now Fulminators turn 3, and all the reserves can arrive. How many Night Lords have actually died? Is that one guy? You're kidding me. One Night Lord. So half the Fulminators have got to face all the Night Lords bar one. Alright. This is going to be tricky. Let's see what we can do. Fulminators turn 3. The Astartes reinforcements have arrived. Just in time to see to reinforce the last man standing of their initial vanguard. So, what are we... What? Just what? The ideal scenario would have been as the heretics were being engaged on all sides. Maybe I should have deployed differently. Maybe I should have had some units up here to keep them spread out, because now they're a little bit concentrated. But then again, these ones here aren't going to be right in my face next to... Anyway, I'm thinking out loud now. I'm thinking too far ahead. Try to do post-match analysis mid-match, which is never good. So rather than the ideal scenario of attacking on all fronts and picking off the heretics piecemeal, the Fulminators have had to consolidate their forces into a stronger front to engage enemy of this size all at once, spread out, would have just been led to being picked off. So, what is the plan of Captain... Nothing to see here. Move along. Please disperse. Nothing to see here. What is the plan of Captain Algarian? Algarian? Agarian. What is it? Seamless. What is the plan of Captain Agarian? Plan. The Night Lord guy has played We Have Come For You again on this unit. Well, actually, it's first time on this unit. So this intercessor can't fall back. My feelings are a little bit difficult to express in words, but it certainly wouldn't be broadcastable. Sigh. Right, so these guys are in a position where they can put their fire downfield and then charge. We're staying, turn 3, we're staying in the tactical doctrine for this turn. So the captain and the intercessors have piled out of the tank, all within 6 inches of the edge. Even though, really, I think they should be able to move 12 inches in and then get out and then do stuff, but ignoring that, you know, rules. Can't ignore all of them. Otherwise, I might as well just start hurling dice across the table and try to knock my own models out. Digressing again. Yeah, so we've got some anti-tank weaponry on here. Just going to the Land Raider. We've got a lot of guns here, but there weren't really very good places to put the Dread to be able to get line of fire on the infantry. Even bringing him one on that side, he'd have to have been right in the corner to be able to get line of fire onto those, and they're in cover. And they can use, what's it called? In Midnight Cloud to reduce my ballistic skill. So, really, the anti-infantry guns that he's got aren't going to be a huge amount of use on infantry this turn. However, they are strength 5, strength 6 with -1. So they are potentially going to be able to take a couple of wounds off the Land Raider. Not a lot, I know, not a lot, and we probably aren't going to be able to destroy the Land Raider in one turn of shooting. That's okay, but we'll hopefully do some damage to it, and then he'll run up and rip its nipples off. By which I mean tracks. That's obviously Fulminator slang for tank tracks. So that's broadly the plan. These guys, I did consider dropping them down here and taking these guys out. We're at -2 for tactical doctrine, but again, they're in the cover and also in midnight clad. So what I've decided to do is be a little bit more tactical. We have still got 3 turns to damage the heretics. So their job for this turn is to kill that. And with, I hope they still have 6 shots each, and with 30 shots at -2 to his armour, I'll be disappointed not to kill that. And then I'm not immediately going to take a lot of return fire. Maybe some from the Leviathan Dread. I couldn't really get any realistic gun on that, not without putting a unit in a place where I really wasn't going to be able to use it again. So, yeah, that's the plan. They're going to take that out, and then they've got some room to manoeuvre because, yeah, there's another tank full of heretics over there, as well as that massive dreadnought, and there's a big unit of really hard chosen. That Land Raider plus the chosen inside it are about 700 points, if I remember rightly. Yeah, because the idea would be to blow the Land Raider open and then shoot it up with all these other guns. I haven't got the firepower to open that can. So, right, enough talking, more shooting. Right, I'm going to get a fistful of dice and murder that dreadnought. Okay, 30 shots. Hit on 3s, wounded on 5s. 7 wounds. -2 because the tactical doctrine is in effect. So he has saves of 5 up to make. He needs most of them to survive. Only 2 to fail and he dies. He fails 4. That is a dead dreadnought. Does it explode? No. And I say dead. It's you know, it's leaking hydraulic fluid. It's starting to seize up. It can't move. Energy's bleeding out of its reactor. It's crippled. It's compromised. It's done for today. Okay, objective 1. Check. Okay, before we fire the next set of things, some command points to talk you through. So first off, I'm going to use adaptive strategy on the Dreadnought. Dreadnought's a core unit, so he counts as being in the Devastator Doctrine, Tactical and Assault Doctrine. Now I know technically speaking, it has to be used in the command phase. And in the command phase, neither of them were on the table. But this isn't a case of one guy's teleported down and he isn't aware of it and the other guy's driven on, or was already here. These guys have both come onto the table together. They've been with each other as they've been getting here, and he is issuing orders and planning the battle. So this is where it goes to, you know, applying narrative common sense. He can do that, so he's doing that. The next thing is use it also in the command phase. Same reasoning. Going to use Wisdom of the Ancients on the Dread for tactical precision. So units within 6 inches can reroll wound rolls of 1. I'm pretty sure this applies to him as well because he counts as a core unit. Yeah, core units. And then when we get to them, we're going to use Steady Advance to double their shots to make them count as stationary. So that's 5 command points. The command points are going up the wall this turn, so we're going to start. And the order in which we do them all is important, right? Because these guys, actually less so now I've done Steady Advance. But some of the range on these guns can just reach, in fact, yes. Never mind, not that important. Sorry, they were important a minute ago when I thought they were in rapid fire range, but I just worked out they're not, hence Steady Advance. Anyway, right then, so 16 bolt rifle shots into those Havocs. Where are we going to do it? Let's do it here. Right, rerolling 1s because of Bolt of Fusillade and because of the Captain. So take out the 2s. So they've all hit. Oh! Hang on. Hit Midnight Clad? No, I've used it now. I've done it. Too late. Too late will be the cry. Wounding on 4 5s because they're toughness 5. I forgot they were toughness 5. Rerolling the 1. No. -2. Saving on 5s. 2 saves, 1 wound. They did 1 wound to him. Oh, my voice. Hang on, need drink. So apparently my own surprise can make me choke. Right then. Okay, so they didn't do so well, but they're tough little nuts, especially with the 2 wounds, which they will eventually have, and they have in all my games. Right, the repulsor is going to split his fire. So against the Land Raider, we are going to have the Last Talon, the crack grenade launchers, the heavy bolter, and the Icarus missile thing. All the other gun into the Havocs. Okay, the Last Talon, two shots, hit on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3, strength 9, 2 wounds, -3 to save, so 2 up save becomes a 5+. 1 save, 1 gets through. I'll take that. D6 damage for 3. Okay. 16 wounds to start with, so 13 left. Oh, I did an extra dice. Crack grenade launchers. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. No. Icarus rocket pod, D3 shots for 2. 2 hits, strength 7, wounding on 5s. No. Twin heavy bolter, in many ways the ideal weapon to have gone into the Havocs. Idiot. Try reading the Codex Astartes. Okay, 6 hits. I could really have used those 5s in a moment, but never mind. Wounding on 5s. 1, 2. Okay. 2 up save. -1. Saves a 3+. 1 gets through. Alright. That's all the gun from them into that. Right, what other guns does this thing have? Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Heavy 8. In on 3s. Is this thing core? I don't think it's core. No, it's not core. Wounding. Oh, sorry. There was the Storm Bolters plinked a wound off that guy, so he died. Strength 5, so wounding on 4s. That was... No, it's obviously 5. 4 wounds, -1. Saving on 4s. 2 fails. Another 1 goes down. Right, what guns next? 3 saves against Fragstorm launchers. 3 passes. Right, last gun, I think. Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. 3 hits. Strength 4, no wounds. Okay. What else have I got I can shoot those with? That's it for guns on that, I think. They fired. He's fired his pistol, did nothing. His pistol is only 12-inch range, so we're going to fire it into the Land Raider. 3 hits, wounding on 6s. No. Okay. Right, so just the dread. All the gun into the Land Raider. So, hang on, I've got to find the page. Right, 12 shots, strength 6. Let's move his wounds. Let's put them there. Hitting on 3s with the irons, the heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Okay, so these 1s are misses. Now, he's wounding on 5s, but rerolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients, which I totally forgot about for those guys. Never mind. Okay, so that's 3 wounds and 2 1s to reroll. Can we convert one of these? Convert both of them. That's splendid. And because he counts as being in all of the doctrines for this turn, that is -2. So these are saving on 4-ups. 3 saves. 2 wounds taken off. So that's down to 9. Right, he's also got 2 Storm Bolters. On 3s. Yeah. That's horrid. Wounding on 6s, rerolling 1s. No. Right, now he's got... Where is it? There. A little onslaught cannon, which I just fired, so I know it's 8. Fired on the other one, of course. No re-rolling the 1, and the 2 is a miss. Right, 5s again with a re-roll of 1s. 1 and no re-rolls. That's a shame. Okay, save the 4 up. Saves. I am bereft of something. Alright, charges. Captain and intercessors, 1 charge into those Chaos Marines. Die, heretics. I don't know how long he needs, how far he needs, but the Land Raider is definitely overwatching. Ooh, I think I might have to stretch the tape measure to make that fit. That is about ½ a centimetre out. You need a 5. You got a 4. Gutted. That is going to be problematic next turn. And there's the Overwatch. Alright. 4 last cannons. Phew. Heavy bolters. Oh yeah, 1. Doesn't wound. That's cocked. Hits. Doesn't wound. Havoc. 2 hits. Doesn't wound. Combi. 1 hit. Doesn't wound. Okay. Right. Need to move these guys now. Right. Captain Agarian is leading from the front. On the charge, he has 6 attacks. Ha ha! Hitting on... Yeah, that. Hitting on 2s. His strength is 5 with his Mastercraft Power Sword. I nearly gave him a relic, but I didn't. I wanted to give him a relic pistol, but he doesn't have a pistol. He's got the thingy, but it didn't count. Come on, Brain, what are you doing? Rolling to wound on 3s. Well, that's 6 wounds at -3. So these heretics are saving on 6s. 1 save. This is 2 damage each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heretics dead. That is the unit. For the Emperor. For the Emperor! And this unit will activate and move up a little bit just to keep their captain safe. Oh no, they have to move towards the Land Raider. Sorry, my bad. That'll do. That'll do. I think that's about right. Is that the first unit of casualties from the Night Lords? The first of many, says the Imperial player. There's no second, the Dreadnought was killed as well. First of many. But it's their turn now, and that Land Raider's full, and they're all really hard. Right, come on, come on. Become the Night Lord. Become the Knight. First Claw want that Dreadnought dead. And that's really cool disembarkation. There's lots more movement to do, but I just thought that was just so cool. In fact, I'm going to use that, I think, for the front slide for the vid, which you'll already know because you'll now think, oh yeah, that's what the front picture looked like. But normally what I do with the front picture is I set something up so it doesn't actually look like a shot from the game. And that won't look like a shot from the game. So when you're watching it, you won't notice a shot from the game and it won't be a spoiler. Yeah, that. Whoo! Right, more movement. So the Night Lords sense blood. And they sense victory. And they are pressing to get it. They're going all out on all fronts. They're not just going to pick one target and eliminate it. They want everything to die this turn. Realistic? Remains to be seen. Right then. So, 5th Claw, 8th Claw, and 4th Claw. Come around here. You're going to put fire into these guys. See if we can do this some damage. First Claw want this Dreadnought. I've no idea how well successful this is going to be because the Dreadnoughts now all have duty eternal. And so all of these, 2 damage this, D3 damage that, they're all going to be 1 damage. So, yeah. 5th Claw have piled out of their Rhino. And actually their Rhino should move to get a better shot. And the Leviathan has come forward to try and find something to kill. So yeah, they're going to be putting fire down into here. The Land Raider has spun its tracks in opposite directions and rotated on the spot. I'm going to put the fire for these shots in a direction that I think looks right with how the model's posed. So all the anti-infantry is going to come down here. 1 twin last cannon is going to go into this thing, and 1 twin last cannon is going to go into that thing. I think that is narratively cool. And the one I'm most worried about... A minute ago, I was quite confident about this. Yeah, now I've stopped and thought about it, and how hard these things are now. Less so. Plus all the Overwatch. Right. Shooting. What to fire first? Oh, spoilt for choice. Alright, these guys over here are only going to fire at these guys, so I think I'll do that. Right, 2 saves from there. They're going to be fine. 2 saves from an onslaught Gatling from Reaper chain cannon. They've got the same stats. Reaper chain cannon -1. So 1 wound taken. Then from a plasma gun, save for 6. 2 wounds taken. I need a wound counter. No, I don't. I'll just put it there for now. Right, now the unit of Marines. Now the Legionary. A single solitary wound from an autocannon. Saving on a 4. No. Kills 1 of them. Nearest one. Yep, not the sergeant. Good. Right, what next? Okay, now the Land Raider. Twin last, repulsor. Hit on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. Strength. Nope. Twin last cannon. Dread. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. Minus a lot. -3. Saves for 6. No. 2d6 damage for would be 6, but 1 off that becomes 1 off that becomes 3. So it takes 4 damage. I didn't look how many they had. 1 minute. See, I foolishly looked up the stats of the repulsor because I was firing at that first. But I just realised, of course, I can put the dice there even if they haven't taken any wounds. 13 wounds these guys have got, so I've got 9 left. Okay, small arms into the unit. What's it? The big rack of missiles first. It's a blast weapon, so that's minimum half. 3. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. Nope. Heavy bolter. Hit on 3s. Wounded on 3s. 2. Saves of 4+. 1 fail, 1 dead. 2 damage. And Combi Bolter. Unlikely to do much. 4s. 1. He's fine. Right. That's the Land Raider done. Right, well, I was going to say these guys are only firing at one thing, but they are only firing at one thing. I think the melter gun, the plasma pistol are all going to fire into the Dreadnought, and all the other small arms, including the Combi Flamer, will fire out at these guys basically as they run out. Yeah, so we'll do that. Plasma. And the plasma pistol, there's no overcharging, so I can do them all together. Except he hits better. Well, that was silly, Paul. Okay, 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. Save 6. Saves. Melter gun. Hits. Strength 8, toughness 7. Wounding on a 3. 3. It's in half range, so it's plus 2 damage. Does it get saved for 6? I don't think it does, and now I don't have to check. So D3 plus 2. D6 plus 2. For 6. -1. For 5 damage. 4 remaining on the dread. Did I say anything else was going in there? 3 plasma guns. No, everything. Oh, there's heavy bolter. I forgot the heavy bolter. I wasn't going to go put that in there because it'll knock off the 2 damage. Definitely putting that in there. Right, combi flamer. 1 hit. Doesn't wound. Thanks for coming. Heavy bolter. Doesn't hit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bolt shots. Oop, that was not a roll, Paul. You just let go of them. That's better. 2 hits. 1 wound. Fails a save. So one of these guys takes a wound. Nearest guy. Right then. You've all fired. You fired. You all fired. You did nothing. Oh, there's a combat bolter on that rhino. Fire in there. That'll hit on 5s. 1 hit. Doesn't wound. 2 combi bolters on these rhinos we'll put into these intercessors. They're both within 12 inches. So I'm doing them together. Wounded on 4s. Just the 1. Saving on that. Right. So, where to put the storm cannon? We all know where we're going to put the storm cannon. Yes, we do. He wants to kill things and skin them, but he hasn't got the motor control to do that. Oh, also 2 heavy flamers and a melter gun. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. 2 heavy flamers for 8 hits. Oh, I conveniently have 8 dice here. Strength 5. Wounding. I should have done the 2 damage weapons first, Paul. Come on. Learn how to play. 6 wounds. Yeah, 6 wounds. -1. Saving on 4s. 3 wounds get through. Kills 1. Puts a wound on another. Now we'll resolve the melter gun, which hits. Wounds on a 2. And vaporizes that guy who was left. It was on 1 wound. Now the storm cannon. Hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. Saving on a 4. Yeah, it's fine. Right then. Now this unit's going to unload. Okay, decent round of fire as they just indiscriminately unload into the pack of Imperials in front of them. 2 saves from heavy bolters at -1, so 2 saves of 4+. Another 1 dies. 1 from a melter gun, D6 +2 damage, just dies. 8 damage, oh, he is very dead. And then 4 from regular bolters. 2 fail, 1 dies to regular bolters. 6 down. I mean, you expect to take casualties from being shot at. I'm just so used to the first 4 games in this series where nothing frickin' died. Okay. You fired. You all fired. You fired. Okay, the Night Lords have all fired. It must be the charge phase. Right, let me see what's in range of what to charge. Yeah, hang on. Okay, the Leviathan's going to charge at these 2 guys. Needs 7-inch charge. That is not a 7-inch charge. This unit is... I wonder, I'm going to check how the stratagem works, because do I have to be entirely in terrain to do from the night? Let me check. Yes, must be entirely within the terrain feature. Although looking at the page has just reminded me that I've been forgetting to use hit and run. I could have been using that here with the unit that was in. It could be falling back and hitting and so on. Anyway, right. 5th claw. 5th claw into the intercessors and the captain. Need a 5. Oh, that's a 4. Now I have to measure. Yep, a 4 makes it. And then first claw, so one single charge for the whole group into the Dreadnought. They're in. They're in with 8 inches, so they can really get around him. Right, but he will. One command point left. Just the one. He's going to Overwatch. He's going to turn those big guns on all these heretics. Okay, so 1 hit with the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, 3 hits with the onslaught Gatling cannon, 1 hit with Stormbolter. Now, I've just checked my stratagems, and Wisdom of the Ancients and Adaptive Strategy are both active until my next command phase. So they're all happening. So these are all -1, so -2 now. They're all higher than toughness 4, so I can roll them all together. So wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s, and they are -2. This one is going to wound on a 4, which doesn't wound. -2, saves of 5+. 3 saves, 1 wound. So this guy's taking a wound. Seeing as the cannon's pointing at his face, he can take the wound. Right, move charges. Okay, so charges have moved. Oh, Paul, tape measure. Jeez, break the illusion, why don't you? Charges have moved. I've just been trying to work out who to do first because of interruptions, and then I just realised that the Astartes haven't got any command points left. The Loyalists. So there won't be any interruption. But I am doing putting Veterans of the Long War on this unit and this unit. However, because this is chosen plus 2 characters, I'm paying 3 command points to do it. 1 over there. Right, who to do first? Let's do this unit of Marines. So let's activate them, get them all into position, and see how close we can get them all. So having just checked the stat line of the Gravis Captain, don't fancy their chances. So we've got an Aspiring Champion and 1 Marine and made it through to the Gravis Cap. They're going to attack him. All the others are going to attack the Intercessors. So, Power Fist against the Gravis Cap. No re-rolling for that. It's -1 anyway, isn't it? Of course it is. No False Emperor. Wounding on a 3. Yes. Minus a whole bunch. Iron Halo on a 4. Saves. Then the other dude. Ooh, death to you. 2 hits. 2 wounds. Have some. He takes a wound. He takes a wound. He's only got 6 left. Yep, 6. Right, I'll work out what the rest of the guys have got. Okay, so 2 saves to be taken against regular guys, so 3+. 1 wound taken. Then these are all wounds with Astartes chainswords, so saving on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're dead. And these guys will do the consolidation thing. That's right, consolidation, it's what you need. Right, now, first claw, attacking the Dreadnought. I think Mirak, the Master of Executions, is going to have the first chop. Okay, I'd forgotten how good this guy was. 5 attacks with his axe. No, 6 because of Shock Assault. 6 attacks with his Axe of Dismemberment, and he hits on 2s. That's 5 hits. Strength of his Axe of Dismemberment is 8. Well, it's ×2, so it's 8. So wounding on 3s, rolling 1s because of it doesn't matter. They're all -3. So wound saves of 6s. 1 saves. 1 save. He's got 4 wounds, but D3 damage each. 1, 2, 2 becomes a 1, 3, 3 becomes a 2, 5. He's dead. 1 chop from 1 guy. But he explodes and does D3 mortal wounds to the Chosen for 3, killing that guy and that guy. No, let's not break coherency, so we'll kill this guy. D3 on the Master of Executions for 2, leaving him some left. Starts with 4 +1, 5. There's 3 left. And then D3 on the, for 1 on t'other fella, who's not Lucius Eternal. He's the Exalted Champion. Well, he's the Talon Champion. And he has 5. So, where have I put all the wound counters? Are they all in use? No, that's what I shouldn't do. I shouldn't use them on that. Oh, there's 1 on here. Alright, 4. So I can put those back, but I won't. Okay. Big reactor explosion, and the sarcophagus flung into the distance to be recovered later. Flung way into the distance. So far into the distance, it can be recovered after the battle. Because it won't be near the Night Lords. Ah! Right. So, that happened. And the captain has 6 attacks still. I should know this. I had earlier. Oh, these guys will consolidate this way. Because, yeah. So they'll do that. I'm not being particularly lucid tonight, am I? I am. My words are very much getting minced. I apologise for this. 6 attacks with El Capitano. Hit on 2s. Yep. Wounding on 3s. Strength 5. Minus. We're still turn 3, so it's still the still the thingy doctrine. So saves of 6, it's minus 3. No, 2 damage each, 3 get killed. So we'll take these 3 here. Chop, chop, chop. Right then, so at the end of Night Lord's turn 2, 3, 4. 3. And the Night Lord's turn 3. There's not a lot left for the Fulminators. They've got these 4 guys over here. 1 intercessor, a captain, and a repulsor. I mean, I think these are what we like to refer to as overwhelming odds. But let me have a think and see if we can practically do any kind of damage to these guys. Because, you know, we have identified that by any realistic measure, we have lost the Fulminators. So we have a choice of one of 4 things to do in this scenario. We can try and preserve our strength if there is a possibility that we will be able to strike back later. We can try and wound our foe as deeply as possible to weaken them against a subsequent combatant. We can do 2 other things that I can't remember Gilliman mentioning in the book No No Fear. You can surrender if there is any value to your continued resistance in that state, if you can do any more damage to them. There was a 4th thing. I can't remember it. Oh, that would have sounded so flash if I could remember them all. But never mind. I'm pretty pleased remembering those at 5 to 11 on a Friday night after a week of work. Okay. Right. Tidy up and fulminate. Fulminate! So very little in the way of movement from the Fulminators. It's a fighting retreat, I think, to try and do as much damage as possible whilst backing off. If we can... This has been identified as their command structure, so we're going to put as much fire into here as we possibly can. They've come out of the command vehicle. There's guys with heads and stuff hanging off things, and he just killed a dreadnought in one go. He's old, he's wise and knows stuff. So I'm sure I could have said that in a lot more cooler way, but so yeah, they must die. If that can be killed and they can be killed and we can fall back in good order, then something can be salvaged from this day. So the Night Lord guy has played We Have Come For You Again, so I can't fall back out of combat with that unit of Marines, which means that next turn, when I've killed them all in combat, I'm going to be stood there and I'm going to get a Leviathan in the face. But I have an Iron Halo. The Emperor protects. The Emperor protects. This guy, rather than charging into the pack because he is swinging wildly, decapitating them. He's got his back to him, protecting him from assault from this side and laying down his fire. And not giving them all an extra attack from shock assault. Okay, so Watson is using one thing. The captain is only firing his pistol at them. Hits twice. Wounds once, -1, nada. Okay. Bolt rifle, 2 shots. 2 hits. 2 wounds. 2 saves. Right. The tank is going to fire the last Talon, the crack launchers, and the Icarus missile pod into the Land Raider. Everything else into... Oh, it's not one unit, is it? It's into the Chosen. Into the Chosen. It's going to have to be. Right. Last Talon. 2 hits. Winning on 3s. 2 wounds. -3. Saving on 5s. 2 saves. Oh! 2 crack grenades. They hit. They didn't wound. The Icarus missile. 2 shots. 1 hit. Wounds. -1. Save of a 3-up. Yeah. Okay. That Land Raider has survived for 10,000 years. Its hull is impervious. It was well made. Well made in the forges of Mars, and then disgraced for 10,000 years by these self-serving scum. It's utterly tainted and unrecoverable. But hey-ho. Right, other gun. 2 Fragstorm missile launchers for 12 shots. I've done it again. I've not fired the multi-damage ones first. Oh, well. Because I'm thinking they were blast, that's why. And then, but I forgot it's how it is at the start, not how they are now. Anyway. 3s. I don't know that those words made any kind of sense. When you declare it, if the models are there at that point, it's not the order in which you fire the guns, it's all simultaneous. Wounding on 4s. Saving on 3s. Whoa! That's 2 dead heretics. 4 fails. Okay, right. 6 shots with the heavy bolters. Twin heavy bolters. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. Saving on 4s. 2 fails. That's 2 wounds each. That's 2 more dead heretics. Onslaught Gatling Cannon. That's... Oh, I should have used a Midnight Clan, and I didn't. Oh, what an idiot. Never mind. Were these hits or wounds? They were hits, I think. Wounding on 3s. Yep. -1. Saving on 4s. 1 wound on 1 guy. Right, what else has he got? Storm Bolters. It was definitely in 12-inch range when I started all this. We are in the Assault Doctrine now, so these have got no armour benefit thing. 3. Saving on 3s. Failed 1. Kills this guy. Then the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. 2 hits. 2 wounds. Is it -1, the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber? Sorry, book flickage. How could I forget in Midnight Clad again? It's because I'm tired. Come on, man, where is it? Don't keep them waiting. Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. It is -1. That kills the last guy. Okay. Sweeping him across the table like garbage. That's not good. That's not good at all. They're not orcs. Right then. The Inceptors are going to put 2 each. 2 each are going to go into each character. So I'll do one of them first. So into the Exalted Champion. We'll play in Midnight Clad on him for a command point. So it's -1 to hit. So hitting on 4s. That's saved quite a few there. Okay, strength 4, toughness 4, winning on 4s. 3 at -1, saving on 4s. 3 fails. That's him down to a single solitary wound. Now, against Mirak the Executioner. Now, he's wearing the Stormbolt plate, of course. So he'll be saving on 2s. He'll be fine. Hitting on... I didn't say I was doing a Midnight Clad, although I did think it, but I didn't say it. So there hits. Wounding on 4s. 3. -1, so it's still 2+. Yeah, he's fine. Okay. Everything's fired on him. He's fired. He's fired. They've all fired. We still want to kill their command structure. Oh, do I not want to charge? But I've got to charge. For the Emperor. Couldn't have been Snake Eyes, could it? No. Oh yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, charging them both. Right. Charging units first. So these guys have all got 3 attacks each. Or do they have a base of 3 anyway? 1 minute. No, base of 2 plus the Sarge. So 2 guys are going into this one. Now, of course, the Stormbolt plate, the cover won't actually benefit him here. So he has got a 2+ save, but the Assault Doctrine is in effect, so he'll only save on 3s. Anyway, I'm probably getting ahead of myself here. Okay, 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. Definitely getting ahead of myself. Saving on 3+. No, down to 2 wounds. Now, the Sarge and the other guy on the Talon Champion. Rerolling 1s because preferred enemy. Wounding on 4s. 4 wounds. -1. Saving on 4+ is dead, dead, and dead all over. So he falls, and that's Warlord. Oh, that might make a difference in the points. Looking at the rest of the table, not so much, but maybe. Pile in, try and kick him to death, and don't think about what he's going to do in a minute. Right, so Night Lord guy gets to have a go. Pile these in. As many guys as possible. It doesn't matter if I tag him, don't care. Yeah, as many guys as possible there. Right, 3 saves. 1 against a bolter. Bad bolter guy. Fails. Takes a wound. Down to 5. 1 against an Astartes Chainsword. Saves on not that. Down to 4. Come on, 4. Where are you? And then 1 against a Power Fist. 4 up invulnerable. Iron Halo. No, for D3. For 1. Down to 3 wounds remaining. Okay, this guy's been tagged, so he can attack. So we'll do him in a minute. Right, so now the... No, it's not 6 because he wasn't charged. The Gravis Captain. Hit on 2s. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds. Saving on 6s. No saves. 4 dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. Which has now pulled him back out. Okay. Right. Mirak has 6 attacks, having been charged. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 3s. Oh. Saving on 6s. Now, D3 wounds each. Oh, one of these guys was on 1 wound. I must have just had 2 wounds. I must have lost the thing. D3. Dead. D3. 1 wound left. Next one will kill it. D3. Dead. D3. Dead. What a legend. What an evil legend. Oh, Right, so there's a morale test over here. That's a fail. One runs and another one runs, leaving just the champion left. Oh my word! Right, right. Night Lord's turn 4. Okay, and this is what it looks like after the Night Lord's movement phase in turn 4. So that remaining aspiring champion has fallen back. He can hit and run and come back in. The Leviathan has moved forward. He has designs on killing them a lot. Mirak is going after the Repulsor. I mean, it's undamaged, but he's a maniac. That's if the Land Raider doesn't get there first with all its gun. And then these Havocs and these Marines, these Legionaries moving in for the kill. Right then, first things first. Land Raider. 4 las cannons into the Repulsor. All of the small arms into that guy. 4 las cannons. 3 misses. Alright. Running on a 3. Yeah. Saving on a 6. No. Damage. 1. Hey! It's got 15 left. I'm going to put 3 5s down. I'm doing it. That's how I roll. Right. Twin heavy bolters against the last intercessor. Hits him 3 times. Wins him twice. Saves a 4+. Nope, he dies. And the Leviathan is going to put every gun into this guy. Yes, he is. So, Storm Cannon. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 shots. Hit on 3s. Wounding on 3s, because it's strength 7. Set -1 to save. Saves to... Is he a base 2 or a base 3? Oh, why is it on attack bike? What on earth happened there? Come on, come on. People are waiting. Hurry up. Base 3. Ooh. That makes it 4s. 1 gets through, 2 damage, 1 remaining. 2d6 hits with heavy flamers for 10 hits. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wounding on 4s. 4 wounds, saving on 4s. 2 fails and he goes down. Okay, at this point, the Marines start crawling back in their injured state into the Repulsor. However, the Night Lords are not content to let them escape. The Leviathan is going to charge. Doesn't make it. Mirak charges 5. He makes it. There is 1 command point. Let's overwatch him. Can we take it down? Heavy bolters. Hit once. Wounding on a 3. Wounds. Saving on a 2 still. Saves of a 2. The onslaught. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Heavy onslaught. And he hits 5 of them. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds. 1 fail, down to a single wound. 2 crack missiles, crack grenades, no. Frag storm for 3 shots. 1 hit, wounding on a 4. Wounds, saves on a 6. Regular Reaper, that gun there, that one. 1, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, -1. But he's still getting a 2-up save. Which he fails. He succumbs to his wounds and backs off. Then in It's the last turn. Can it survive the last turn? Let's see if he can survive the last turn, because, let's be honest, they are trying to recover as many that are wounded. All these ones that have taken out of action, they're not actually dead. They're not even all unconscious. They're not even all incapable. They are pulling back and trying to help each other as much as they possibly can. So let's see what he can do. Well, I mean, it's just everything to the Land Raider. Let's take out that Land Raider. It's part of the command structure. We've neutralised most of it. That's an important asset they will need. Last Talon. 2 hits. 1 wound. -3. Fails to save. D6 damage. For 5. It's got 4 wounds left. Come on, Paul. 4 wounds left. Heavy bolters. 2 hits. 1 wound. Fails to save. It's got 2 wounds left. Icarus missile pod. 2 shots. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. No. Or spinny gun. Wounding on 5s. 1. Saving on 3. Crack grenades. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. Iron hail. 3 hits. Wounding on 6s. No wounds. Frag grenades. 9. I hope this is 9. Wounding. It's on 3s. I wonder if it is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's 10. Alright. That can miss. Wounding on 6s. 3 wounds. Saving on 2s. It's got 1 wound left. Looking for another gun. Storm bolters. On 3s. Wounding on 6s. Come on. Let's take down this abomination. 1. Last dice roll of the game, I think. Well, no, not quite. Save of 2+. And they take it out. Does it explode? It does not explode, but it is crippled and non-functional, as is that bit of scenery I just wrecked. That's the end of Imperial turn thingy, Night Lord turn thingy, Storm Cannon. No, Meltigum. No, Heavy Flamers. No, 1. No. So it comes down to, can it be punched to death? I mean, you probably don't want to watch this. This is probably... I want to table the Space Marines. There, I said it. It's been a long time coming, guys. 6 attacks. 6 attacks. Hit on 3s. Well, that's 5 misses. Oh, how disappointing. Strength 14. Wounding on that. Saving on a 6. No. 3 damage. Oh, what an anticlimax. Okay, so, narratively speaking, yeah, they're all piling into this repulsor and backing off. But I think what I'll actually do is I think I will tot up the power, because it's definitely a Space Marine victory, but I want to know how much... it's obviously it's a Space Marine victory, they're all Space Marines. I think it's definitely a Legion victory, obviously, but I want to know by how much. Well, the points have been well and truly totted. And it's based on power, plus 10 for a Warlord kill. And the Fulminators managed to achieve 56 points to the Night Lord's 92. a resounding Night Lord victory. Although, in the last couple of turns of the game, the Fulminators did an awful lot more than I thought they would be able to. They wiped out the Chosen and the 2 characters. They practically wiped out that that unit there. There's only a couple of models left in that unit. One of these rhinos is on its last legs. In the small amount of time they had, they did a huge amount of damage. Not backing off right at the end and taking the opportunity to risk sacrificing themselves to do a deeper wound to the enemy paid off. Because had they withdrawn, it would have been an utterly crushing defeat. As it stands, it's still a defeat. They turned up and told the Night Lords that they were done on Archimedes IX. And the Night Lords said, no, we have come for you. And came for them they did. So the Fulminators are in retreat. They are falling back. And the Night Lords have a firm foothold on Archimedes IX. I wonder what is next in this saga. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed playing that. It was a great deal of fun. Really cool to see the Night Lords doing some damage. I really like the 2 wound thing. I hope that eventually comes in the Codex. I think that really works. Nice to see the Marines trying to do what they've got with what they had, rather than it being particularly well suited to what they were trying to do. The units versus the opponent, it was a lot of... They didn't have a lot of anti-armour. They were facing a lot of armour. And like I said, they did quite well. They did do well. Anyway, yes, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you like my battle reports and my hobby rambles, you might want to check out channel memberships in the link below. There are various different options of things like live streaming, where I prattle on about stuff, and extra battle reports, where I release to members a battle report each week, every week. If you're interested in looking at what kind of thing comes out in those battle reports, there's a video on the channel called Look Back at November, or a retrospective in November, something like that, where I talk about the ones that we had in the members lounge in November. Anyway, advert over. Really enjoyed this game. Hope you did too. Stay safe and see you all in the next one. Bye for now.